It's me. Hi. Welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We're your hosts, James.
And Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our take on each contestant. We'll give you our feedback on their voice and their overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we'll keep it 100 with our feedback and critiques of each contestant's vocal and overall performance. But what we're never here to do is come for anyone's character or any contestant as a human being. While we may come off a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean, we'll do our best to speak our truths with love, kindness, and respect. And with that, as you can see, we are so excited about last night's battles, night 2 of battles. And if you pay really close attention, I gave you a clue as to the one that I'm very excited to talk about. But actually, all of them, to be completely serious, all of them were excellent battles, Stephanie.
Yes, absolutely. Very excited to talk about these performances.
All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So who did we have first last night?
First up was from Team Nile. We had Laura Littleton versus Ross Clayton, and they sang Stop Dragging My Heart Around by Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
I was really looking forward to this battle when I saw that the two of them were paired.
Yes.
Because I was like, you know what? Laura made a very strong impression, just her overall spirit. Mm-hmm. And then we got Ross, who was you know what? I'm going to give this showbiz thing one more try. You know, I done raised a tribe, or I'm raising a tribe. I got chickens, I got ducks. But you know what? I still got the passion, and my wife gave me the green light. And as long as your significant other gives you the green light, it's a go.
Come on.
So I was really looking forward to this duet, and there were some things that went down during the commentary that I do want to talk to because I kind of related. And if y'all watch the Pitchy Podcast, don't hate me because I kind of related to something that Chance said, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in regards to this song. So this was Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty, R.I.P. Tom, who passed, I believe, last year in 2001. The first thing I wrote down, or the first note that I had, was how clean Ross's vocal was. I said, this dude is like, he's like a disinfectant. Like, it was so clean. It was so clean. Like, not a spot, not a speck of dirt was left. It was a pure vocal. Like, I also wrote this, Ross, I think you have perfect technique. Like, to me, a clean, pure vocal means that you have excellent singing technique. You made it look so darn easy last night, Ross. Like, it was, I just kept remarking, like, wow, like, Ross does not miss.
No.
Ross does not miss. And then I said, you know what? Laura's got Stevie Nicks down, right?
Yeah.
Like, her voice, which was interesting because I didn't hear that in her initial audition. So I just was like, you know, is Laura, because this is Stevie Nicks who sings the part of the duet, is she trying to emulate Stevie Nicks? Because I didn't hear that as much in her blind audition. But I was like, if she is, she's got Stevie Nicks down. And this is just a personal preference. And then I'll just, well, you know, I might as well admit it now, Stephanie. I, like Chance, had never heard this song before. I know.
Me neither.
Oh, okay. And I don't know if it's cultural. I don't know. And I don't know if it's ageist. I don't know.
And we know a lot of music,
we,
James.
we do, Stephanie, and that's why I don't feel as bad, because I can Stephanie and I can go with rock as good as we can go with R&B. You know, like we're very eclectic with our music tastes.
Yeah.
So I know this is an older song, but when they kept saying that this is one of the biggest duets of all time, I was like, and then Chance said what he said, and I know Chance is not that much younger than us, so I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better. I was like, is it cultural? Is it generational? Like, I didn't know. So I'm a big Stevie Nicks fan. I'm a big Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers fan. So it's so interesting. And maybe I did in my youth hear this song. If this was a part of the MTV generation, I heard this song, but I wasn't that familiar. So as far as personal preference, I wanted and this has nothing to do with the artist, Stephanie. I wanted the song to go somewhere a little bit more. I felt the song kind of just stayed at one level.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with the artist, because I thought the artist did it great. I just was like, I wanted maybe and that's just maybe the power ballad duet singer in me, like where I want, I need a big note, I need a big climactic, hold the note out forever. And I guess that's just personal preference. Let me tell you something. Ross, I want a pair of those sunglasses, bruh. I want those sunglasses because you are Clark Kent and Superman when it comes to those sunglasses. You put those sunglasses on and you got, I told Stephanie last night, he's got that Sasha Fierce Beyonce thing going on where he literally transforms and he literally becomes a superstar.
Yeah. Not
just the ridiculously clean, incredible, pure vocal that he gave, his whole look. He looks like that he is a star that has sold 10 million records.
Absolutely.
Right? And I can't believe I said records. That just dated me. But I'm going to call it 10 million albums or 10 million downloads. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. As far as Laura, I'm usually... The faster vibrato is usually not... It doesn't get on my nerves, especially if it's for the purpose of the song, which I completely understand. If you're singing a Stevie Nicks song, Stevie Nicks has a fast vibrato. But it was a little heavy for me. Not so much the speed of it, it just was a little too pronounced, if that makes sense, for Laura's vocal. And that's just, again, personal preference. Laura, you can sing your face off, okay? Stephanie and I, you were one of our favorites. You were one of the ones that Stephanie and I said, I can't wait to hear ... I can't wait to hear Laura. But I just think for this particular song, it was a little much for me. What do you say, Stephanie?
Whew, what a way to start the night. Yeah. Because after Monday night, it's like, okay, like
how are you gonna top that?
How are we gonna top that? As far as Ross, he is so interesting because I completely agree with what you're saying about his vocal being clean, because it was, but he's got this cool rock grit to his voice too.
But it's clean.
But it's clean.
It's not dirty.
Those might sound like polar opposites, but the way that he delivers that kind of textured vocal is really clean. I thought that as I listened to this the fifth time, and I was listening to more details of the song, I found that each line that Ross delivered, every choice that he made melodically seemed intentional.
Yes.
Like whether he would put a little bit more grit on this line or hold it back just a little bit, or the dynamics, whatever melodically he was doing, it seems like each line was intentional. He seemed super, just like you said, very comfortable on stage, as if he had been performing and gigging and putting out music for years upon years upon years without any kind of break. The higher register of his voice, when he came out with his opening line solo, I was like, whoa, because it was not in the lower part, it was in the higher part of his register. And it just was so powerful. It was so full. I think that's what I want to say. It was so full. I thought that his voice sounded like either one of the members of Hall and Oates or a person, and I don't know the singers by individually, but singers in the band The Eagles.
Okay, yeah.
Like that's what his that rock gritty, solid singing sounded like for me. For Laura, I loved her energy on the stage. I think that she has this really cool tone that leans country. And again, she's got that really cool vibrato that was very present in this song. What it looked like to me, and this is just me viewing and my personal experiences, it felt like she might have been having a little bit of breath support issues.
Okay.
Because I felt like some of the ends of the lines were kind of tailing off a little bit and got a little bit pitchy at the end. So I'm wondering if the excitement and all the energy behind this performance kind of compromised her breath support a little bit.
Yeah, you have to also take into consideration that if you do have a faster vibrato, you have to have an even better sense of pitch.
Yeah. Because
you can tend to go sharp, which is,
right.
For those of you that may not know, it's like where you're slightly above the note.
Yeah.
Flat is when you're slightly below the note, but if you can tend to go sharp with a faster vibrato, so you have to have that's what made Stevie Nicks so brilliant. She had a really, really incredible sense of pitch.
Yeah.
And it was always right on, right? So you gotta be mindful of that.
Right. But overall, I think that her voice is really, really cool. It's really, really unique. And I loved when they sang together. And I'll disagree with you, James, just a bit, because I feel like the song did kind of stay in one place for a little while. Mm-hmm. But by the time they got to the back end and they were singing that chorus, I felt like it did get a little bit more intense. And I don't know if there was necessarily a key change. Right. There might have been, or a shifting of who was singing the melody line and who was singing the upper harmony. The harmonies were stacked, Yeah. So by the time you did get to the end, I was really impressed with the notes that Ross and Laura were both singing, because they were both pretty high in each of their registers.
Okay.
And
I'll take that, Stephanie.
Okay.
I'll take
and
that.
Like, it was really powerful. I love the way that they blended together. It was really cool. I just want to say, I think that Coach Niall, I don't know if we've talked about him as a coach prior. Well, we wouldn't have. I don't know. I don't think we did on Monday. Anyway, a little bit. Yeah. They really dove deep into allowing us to see more of how he was coaching, particularly Laura and Ross.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
He knows his shizzle, as we say.
Yes, he does know his shizzle. I was very impressed. Impressed.
I was like, and Niall's young,
Yeah.
I mean, not that young, but younger.
Right.
And he is very musical.
Yes.
And see, I'm not that familiar with One Direction. Was Niall like the song? How everyone in boy bands, especially, like they have labels. Was he like the songwriter of?
I don't know if he actually wrote the songs, but his individual stuff is very much singer-songwriter.
Okay, got it. That makes a lot of sense. You can tell that he is learned in that area.
Yes. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
All right. So, who did they wind up going with in this battle?
So, Coach Niall ended up picking Ross.
Yeah, I would agree with Niall. I would have liked to have seen Laura sing something else. Because I think the whole Stevie Nicks thing, like, she totally embraced it, which is great. But I don't think it showed off her voice the way it did in the blinds. In my opinion, I mean, she's still an incredible vocalist.
Right.
And I love her story. Like, I loved her story even more to see that she went, that she struggled with mental illness and struggled with a food addiction and stuff like that. I can really relate. So I loved her. I fell in love with her as a person even more by her backstory. So it was sad to see her go. It
really
sad.
was.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah.
All right. So who do we have coming up next?
Next was from Team Chance. We have Alyssa Lazar versus Magnus. And they sang Your Song by Elton John.
First of all, I love that song. I love this.
I hope you don't mind.
I hope you don't mind. Hey. And I was very excited about this particular battle because we didn't know who Alyssa was. Alyssa was cut off. Well, not cut off. Alyssa was edited to be shown as a very, very short snippet of her blind audition. That she definitely did get chair turns and made it through. And she went with Chance, Coach Chance. But I was so I was like, yes, okay, a new voice. Like, I was getting excited. Stephanie and I both, like, we're lovers of singing voices. Like, when we hear a new voice, like, both of us like lose our minds. We're like, ooh, okay, a new voice. Yes. What do they sound like? And it was funny. This is one of the ones I actually was texting Stephanie. Stephanie was a little ahead of me in watching it last night. And I texted her, and they were in the rehearsal. And I was like, sing, Magnus! Yeah. In the rehearsal, I was like, yo, Magnus he's laying it down. Like, and I could tell that Chance was just like, like, dude, you are singing. Very good song. I can see. I immediately saw the second I really got a chance to hear Alyssa for the first time. I said, okay, I know why Chance turned around, because Alyssa had a very unique tone. Yes. And unique meaning good, because and that's what Chance likes. Chance likes different. He likes avant-garde. He likes just the whole different sound. And that's what I think Alyssa brought to it. I love to see that Alyssa is hoofing it in Nashville. I'm telling you, it's Music City, y'all. It's where it seems like you got to be these days. Yeah. And I love to see that she's pounding the pavement as a working musician in Nashville. So I was very excited to hear this. It was interesting. It was an interesting version. I thought the key was a little low, but I think that may have been to accommodate more Alyssa, because Alyssa was definitely more of an alto of a singer. I thought it was a little low for Magnus in particular. So I felt like the very beginning of the song, Magnus, and this goes back to what Stephanie had said. Stephanie and I both had said about, if you are uncomfortable in an uncomfortable part of your range, it just takes more air. Yeah. Easier said than done. Yes. And because later, if I'm jumping ahead a little bit, later Kylee had remarked about Magnus's vibrato being a little heavy, a little much. And I think, especially in the beginning of the song, it was a little low for Magnus. So I think he had to kind of push more, or he didn't have the air capacity, because that's the first thing that goes when you're nervous, when you're up there singing in front of 10 million people. Your breath support goes. So it's like a lot of it has to turn to muscle memory. And but I think as Magnus went on, and as the song, elevated in range, and I think that he soared. I think he soared in more the second half of the song. Alyssa had some very interesting stylistic choices. It was. I read a comment in YouTube. Someone, and I was like, "What?" Someone said, I'm not sure if she's trying to give us like a Gaga type of style. And I was like,
It did kind of sound like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it did, but it didn't, right? Like
Yeah.
more, because Gaga does things to her voice. You know, everyone knows that Gaga can blow, right?
Yeah.
But Gaga does things to her voice sometimes to manipulate the sound, and I
Yeah.
just felt like the sound was a little manipulated, um, because what I heard Alyssa do in the rehearsal wasn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what I heard her do in the actual battle itself.
Yeah.
It was something new. I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't hear this before.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. We don't see, all the hours and hours and hours that go
Right.
from us talking to previous contestants. We know that they spend literally a week together in a room
Yeah.
all day,
Mm-hmm.
every day until they get these songs down cold and decide the
Yeah.
arrangement and go on from there. So I don't know if that was a stylistic change that she decided to be. And it's interesting. Jumping back to Magnus real quick, I didn't necessarily agree with Kelly's note about Magnus's vibrato. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was more of her vibrato that was a little bit slow. Um, but then I went back and put this in my good ears,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I see what Kelly's talking about now, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the song. But then,
Yeah.
Stephanie, help me out. I can't remember. Like, Chance was saying something about his vibrato and something that he needed to do, or not sing too big, or something. I forget.
Yeah. I forget as
It
well.
was it
I'm
was it
sorry.
was something that I think Magnus was took a note from
Yeah.
Chance, and that's why he did it the way he did.
Yeah, I think that he said something to the effect of there was a change, I think, in the vibrato and the amount of vibrato that he was doing,
Right.
um, from the rehearsal to the actual performance.
Yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't tell whether he thought that it was a good choice or not. He was just kind of like, oh, that was different. And I was like, uh-oh,
Right.
what's about to happen?
Right.
So,
Yeah. So I mean, that's all I have to say about that. I thought it was a great song choice.
mm-hmm.
I love that Chance said, "I'm giving y'all one of my favorite duets of all time."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking
Well, he's
about."
one of his favorite love
Oh,
songs.
love songs. Yeah, I'm sorry, because it's not a
Mm-hmm.
duet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite love songs of all time, and yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree that Elton John song, whew, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to hear your take on this one because I know you're a big fan of Magnus and as well. But
Yeah.
you were hearing Alyssa for the first time too. So what was
Right.
your take on this battle?
Um, I thought that this was a very good class in how to be partners with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
because their voices are very different. And I feel like there were some compromises that both of them made in order to make this performance go as well as it did. I feel like Magnus might have given a little bit on the, not given, but compromised on what the key of the performance, or the key that they started on, because I did feel like it was really low in his register, but
Mm-hmm.
I also felt like when Alyssa came in, it felt like it was a comfortable portion in her register,
Mm-hmm.
and that once it got a little bit once the song progressed and it got higher, that they were both pretty much in a comfort zone.
Right.
I thought that it was cool to hear the depth in Magnus's voice, because I think that it felt like a strong foundation. It didn't feel wavery, it didn't feel shaky. It felt like he had the ability to give the breath support to that low of a key that he needed to.
Kelly described it as a full-bodied sound, and
Yes.
I love that. I love that she said that.
Yeah.
She related it to a good glass of vino,
Yes.
a full-bodied sound, and that's
Yes.
exactly what Magnus has.
Mm-hmm. I also thought that he made some really cool melodic choices throughout the song.
Always does.
Yeah, I just thought that he gave a really, really great performance. I think that he might have given a little bit more vibrato because that's what Alyssa was doing. And maybe he wanted to match that because it might have sounded weird if one person was doing that and the other person wasn't, because this is a duet and, this is what it is. So I think that they might have really thought about trying to match each other's textures within the song, so it sounded more like one joint song rather than
a more balanced sound.
A more balanced sound
Sure.
rather than two different people singing one
I
song.
can get down with that. I really can.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought Alyssa had a really interesting tone. I think that I heard a few different tones within one song. So I wasn't really sure what her voice sounded like, if that makes sense. And a lot of that is due to the fact that we didn't get to hear her blind audition to get like a real baseline for what her voice sounded like. I felt like she was making some stylistic choices within the song to kind of make her voice maybe sound like something. I just felt like I heard a few different tones.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really sure what her voice sounded like. All of it sounded really lovely, though. Like, that's the first thing that I wrote down. Like, her voice is really lovely. It has like this brightness and this, I guess brightness is the best way I can put it. I loved her presence on stage. I loved their connection on stage. It looked like that they really enjoyed working together and worked really hard to do their best performance.
So who won that battle?
Magnus won.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would have chosen Magnus as well. There's something about Magnus. There really just is something about, it's a very special voice.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what we were talking about with Ross. Like, it seems like he just does not miss.
No.
He just doesn't miss.
No, it's like the voice, and I can only compare it to singers I sing with today. There's a singer that Stephanie and I both sing with where every choice that this singer makes, like, even if it's the wrong lyric or the wrong melody, every choice that they make is in the right direction. And it's kind of scary if you think about it.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, oh gosh, do you even sing a wrong note? It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So, okay. So next we had a little snippet, didn't we?
We did. It was kind of disappointing.
I was so upset on many different levels.
Yeah. Yeah, it was disappointing. So it was from Coach Kelly's team. It was Marcos Cavos versus Sheer Element, and they sang "I Could Fall in Love" by Selena.
Okay, stop right there. All right, boys, get out of our heads, because we talked about it. It has been documented.
Yes.
On previous episodes of the Pitchy podcast, that y'all needed to do this song.
Yeah.
And this song needed to be done by somebody.
Yes.
And that's why I was like, when it came on last night, I started yelling. I said, oh! I said, does NBC listen to the Pitchy podcast? We said, Selena, I Should Fall in Love is a song that needs to be done on this show. Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, it was Selena, I Could Fall in Love. Why couldn't y'all play it?
I know.
It was two of the strongest, well, one group and one individual, two of the strongest artists on this season. Why couldn't y'all play this battle?
Right.
Oh, I was so disappointed.
I figured that last night we would get a snippet of a battle. I wanted to hear this one. I really would have loved to have heard this one. And I think NBC, The Voice, y'all should offer, because I know y'all got the video. I would love for y'all to offer the full battle so that we could at least see the whole thing.
Put it on YouTube, please.
Put it on YouTube. You get a bunch of hits, because guess what? We ain't see the whole thing. So you're going to have everybody going over there to go look at the full battle.
Right.
So,
that would have been, And again, what we heard of both groups. Here's the thing.
Hollering.
What we both heard of both groups, it was crazy. It was
They were
like
hollering.
not even 15 seconds.
Right.
Marcos was singing his face off, and Sheer Element was giving us crazy harmony.
Yes.
And I just was like, it's Kelly Clarkson's team, so I'm going to be mad as to who, if they send someone home, because they got to send somebody home. Right. And obviously, because this is not the full performance, no one's going to get saved, and no one's going to go on to the playoff pass.
Good point.
So unfortunately, what happened?
Well, fortunate for Marcos.
Fortunate, but unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kelly picked Marcos to go through, and unfortunately, Sheer Element went home.
That hurts.
I really wanted to hear more from them,
especially
to kind of compare, selfishly to compare them to the other group that we have.
Right.
I wanted to hear what they would, what more of what they would do.
And I know this would have never happened, but because they weren't in the same, they would have never battled or knocked out because they're with two different coaches. But imagine like 6-part harmony. I'd be like,
come on.
I'd have died. The music nerd in me would have lost my mind if they would have brought in like Jacob Collier to write some crazy 6-part harmony piece or something.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted that. I wanted all that in my life.
Yeah.
But but Marcos, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Cannot wait to hear you in the next round because we are big fans of your voice, young sir.
Yes.
Huge fans.
Yes.
And Judge and crew, we hope to see you because we know how talented Sheer Element is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Stephanie. So we're at the moment of our last battle of the evening.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm going to contain my excitement.
Okay.
And let you talk. This was also one of our leaks.
Yes.
But you have something to tell me, Stephanie. So I'm going to let you introduce this battle. And then we can discuss.
Thank you.
Because it's me. Hi. Hi. I'm the problem.
Okay.
It's me.
James is so hype about this song, and so am I.
It's me.
The last performance was from Team Blake. We had Kylee Dane versus Mary Kate Connor, and they sang Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift. Now, I'm going to be 100.
Okay.
I was on YouTube for something. No, either YouTube or Instagram. The Voice.
Oh, I know what you're going to be 100 about. Okay.
And I saw this.
Yeah.
I saw this pop up. And I looked at it and I said, okay, Kylee and Mary Kate. Okay. I said, this is what I said. I'll wait.
Oh, Lord.
I'll wait. I'll just wait and watch it on TV.
No way.
Big mistake.
Huge.
What is that from? What is that from?
Pretty Women. Remember she walks in the store?
Yes.
She comes back in. She's like, big mistake.
Yeah.
She's like, you work on commission, right?
Yeah.
Big mistake. Huge.
Big mistake. NBC's The Voice.
Woo!
I will never ignore a leak again because y'all show up with these leaks.
Can't do it.
And not that I thought that it was going to be bad by any stretch. I just thought that it was going to be good. I will let James continue. Because if you have not been able to catch it so far, James is big excited about this performance. Big excited. And so am I. But I'll let James start.
Pitchy Podcast. NBC Voice family. You can argue with me if you want, but this has been the greatest battle of this season yet. Point blank, period. I'm getting chills just thinking about this. I have been listening. Mary Kate and Kylee, me and Stephanie, have been listening to this nonstop since it dropped yesterday. Because like last season with Bodie and
Jade.
And who's our other favorite duet?
Sasha
and Devix. Somebody summed it up perfectly in the YouTube comments, and they said this was not a battle, this was a duet. Number one, you're taking a song, and Blake even, and this is the genius of Blake Shelton as a coach. You're taking a song. It's a big risk to take a song that's like number one now. Okay?
Like currently.
Like, I don't know if it's number one anymore, but I know it's definitely probably still in the top 10 of the Billboard charts.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
One of her biggest songs of all times, Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift has had, she's got a monster catalog of number ones. Okay?
Right.
You're taking a song like her current biggest song out right now. You're turning it into a duet. And you're giving to a teenager and someone who's just out of their teens, because Mary-Kate's 18 and Kylie's 20. You're giving them total artistic, like, just artistic interpretation to do what they want with the song. Mm-hmm. It was magic. From start to finish. I could tell it was going to be special from what we even heard in the rehearsal. And I could see, and Blake Shelton doesn't really get excited, but you can even see the excitement on Blake's face in the rehearsal. Like, Blake knew something special was happening. It's kind of like the same thing that happened last season with Devix and Sasha when Charlie Puth was there. And with Camila, and they were like, Charlie Puth was like, that was insane. Mary-Kate, if I could keep it 100, number one, hey, Mary-Kate, local DMV girl, we support you. We support you. But if I could keep it 100, I thought that your voice was good. But I was thinking about Kylee, her audition, and I was like, Kylee may be in a different league than Mary-Kate. Mary-Kate, young lady, that was some bad A singing.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to cuss Mary-Kate.
No.
But that was, girlfriend, you, like Mariah yesterday or from Monday night, it is a youthful exuberance, a brightness, I think Stephanie will later go on to say, with your voice that is undeniable.
Yeah.
It just puts a smile on people's faces. Mm-hmm. And that's something that can't be trained. It can't be taught. You just have it. Either you have it or you don't. It's those X factor things. It's those things that just is innate. You're just born with it. Some people got it. Some people don't. Mary-Kate, you got it, young lady.
Got it.
And you're 18. Yeah. I'm going to give you some advice. Everything that you brought to this song, I want you, because I'm very excited for what your future is in this competition and outside of this competition, Mary-Kate. Everything that you brought in this song, I need you to bring to every round going forward.
Right.
I need you to bring to every round going forward. And young lady, watch how high your star climbs. Mm-hmm. Watch how high in the sky your star goes. Like, seriously. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. You had that youthful, exuberant brightness to your voice. You story told. This is the first time, and no offense to Taylor Swift at all. Taylor Swift, if you listen to the Pitchy podcast, you are a savant when it comes to songwriting. Like, seriously. Yes. This is the first time, Taylor, I really listened to the lyrics of this song, because my daughter, plays this song out the walls. Like, so it has become kind of like background noise because it's played so much in this house, right? I really listened to the lyrics of this song and I was like, Taylor's really saying something here, number one.
She is saying something.
She's saying a whole bunch of things. Taylor Swift, incredibly written song. As far as the storytelling, I give the storytelling portion to Mary-Kate, because I was following the story. If this makes sense, I was following the story more with Mary-Kate because of her actions. Why are you smiling? Because you're thinking the same thing? Because of her actions?
No, because I'm going to disagree.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love it when we disagree. Now, Mary-Kate, I could go on and on and on, but we don't have all day. Let me get down to business. Kylee? All I can say is basically what Kelly Clarkson says. Kylee, I love you, but I hate you. I hate you because, like Kelly Clarkson said last night, there are going to be singers that are going to be jealous of what you have.
Right.
You have such, and I'm getting emotional thinking about it. You have such an amazing voice. I don't think you even know what you do, young lady. Like, seriously. Every nuance, every line, every change, ever so slight change of melody, every flip, because both of you did this. Both Mary-Kate, they did those slight little, it wasn't even a yodel. It was like a flip.
Come on, Flip.
Flip, like, it's me.
Come on, Flip.
Hi. Like, it was, you caressed it. You caressed this song, Kylee. Like, you really did. And I, like in previous seasons when I've gone crazy over, especially these battles, because y'all know this is my favorite round of The Voice, I've gone back and previous artists have come on this show, very few artists, where I will go back and I will sit there and dissect every line because I catch something you do that is ridiculously out of this world. And that was you last night, Kylee. And you, both of you ladies appear to be very humble to me, and that came through. And here we go again. The joy of singing. Manessa is another person that reminded me of the joy that you two had, the sisterhood.
Yes.
To see two ladies who are around the same age, that aren't catty, that aren't insecure, that are as confident in their gifts.
Come on.
Both individually and collectively were as confident in their gifts. To see that, and also, Mary-Kate, to see that you have struggled with anxiety and feeling you weren't good enough and feeling you didn't look good enough or sound good enough. Know that singing is, number one, something that you are both supposed to be doing, and number two, it is your therapy. It is your medicine. It is your breakthrough. It's going to get me through.
Yeah.
And that performance last night transcended The Voice. It transcended The Voice, and it transcended the song.
Yeah.
Like you took this. Chance said it. Chance said, "I think you all need to do a cover of this."
For sure.
And for somebody like Chance the Rapper to say, who's like a Uber producer, to say, "I need y'all. Y'all should do a cover of this song." I was, Stephanie will tell you, the whole night, I was like, and you keep hearing things over and over again every time you play it back. Stephanie, I could go on, but I need to hear from you.
Whew. I'm going to try to be succinct, but I don't know how I can be. But I might be all over the place.
I don't care. They don't care because it was that good.
It was that good. I would hate to ever tell Taylor Swift to give up a song. but she might feel the need to after hearing their rendition. And I love Taylor's rendition. I love this rendition as well. And I think the cool thing, the smart thing that they did was they stripped it down a bit. Mm-hmm. They made it more of an acoustic sound to this arrangement, which kind of separated itself from the original version. I thought that was very smart. And I think that it lent itself well to the emotion of the song as well. Mary-Kate. Bright, light, but not lacking. Like the emotion was there, but there was a brightness and a youthfulness to your voice. But like James said about another artist yesterday, you made some really mature choices with your phrasings and with your melodic choices. There were so many times where she was behind the beat in her phrasing.
Back phrasing. Yep.
Back phrasing.
That's so difficult. It's so difficult.
Was, number one, super difficult to do, but super meaningful for the song, because to me, it felt kind of being introspective.
Yes.
And that's what I think that you were talking about, James, with the storyteller piece. I think that back phrasing lent to the storyteller piece of her performance. So incredible. I was not expecting this vocal from you, Mary-Kate. And I thought that your audition was amazing. But the level of maturity in your melodic choices and in your performance overall was just absolutely outstanding.
So much depth.
So much depth. Kylee. There was a clarity to your voice. The tone of your voice is incredible. One thing that I think helps you to stand out as well is you are a master of dynamics. Oh. There were so many things dynamically that you were doing with your voice. And what I mean by dynamics is the low and the high, the soft and the loud. She was doing that within the entire, every line.
Intonation.
Yes.
Rise and fall.
The rise and fall. It was so... I don't know how you do that.
PhD.
I've been singing for a very long time.
PhD.
But
probably
I
since
don't
before
know
she was
how,
born.
Right. I don't know how you take each line and make each line of a song that special and make choices that are so perfect and so intentional to what the line, what you're actually speaking, what the words to the song are.
Stephanie, she said, "It's me, hi."
Listen, I'm getting there, because the breakdown, when you all, both of you ladies, when the band all together broke down, they didn't break down, but when the music broke down and you all said, "It's me, hi," each one of you, I believe Kylee began that one. I believe she sang the first, "It's me, hi," and that was ridiculous, the melodic choices you were making. And then Mary-Kate came in and sang the second one, and what she did was totally different than what Kylee did, and it was banana.
It was, this was the battle of choices too. If we can go there, because Stephanie and I love choices. When you make when you make the right choice. Mm-hmm. This was the battle where every choice that both of these singers made was A+. A+.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couple more things. Kylee, your low harmonies, I could not stop listening to them. Maybe because I'm an alto and that's alto. Like where I live. That's like my heart language right there. Your low harmonies when you two were singing together were so beautiful.
It elevated Mary-Kate.
It's like they came up under her like a wave, It was just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you know this singer, James. She had like maybe one or two hits in the 90s. Her name is Paula Cole.
Of course.
And
Of course I know
And that's
Paula
what...
Cole. Yes!
Listen, that's...
Yes.
Where have all the cowboys gone?
Yes.
That's the tone and the quality that I could compare Kylie to. That richness.
Did Paula sing "I Don't Want to Wait for Our
Yes,
Lives
I Don't
to
Want
Be
to Wait.
Over"? Yeah.
Yes.
Dawson's Creek.
Yes.
Dawson's Creek.
Yes. Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on,
So
I know my 90s. Come through 90s. I don't want to wait.
Okay. Listen, but why was "Where Have All the Cowboys Gone" my jam?
Oh, that was your song?
I love "I Don't Want to Wait," but that "Where Have All the Cowboys Gone?"
Yeah.
I can't do it with my allergies, but yes. Woo! Jesus. That's where Kylie took me. I was like,
Paula Cole.
It's Paula Cole.
Yes.
Here's the last thing I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Kylie and Mary-Kate are like within 2 years of each other, this song to me felt like there was one person singing, but it was her younger self and her older self.
That's brilliant, Stephanie. That's brilliant.
And Mary-Kate
staged
was the
it
younger
almost
self.
like that. They staged it almost like that. It was weird.
Yes.
Because didn't they start with like pinky? Like their pinkies were connected?
They were either holding hands or pinkies or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like. Like like the older self was still talking to the younger self. The younger self was talking to the older self, talking about how they're still going through this emotional turmoil that they're going through.
Because trust and believe, sorry to digress for a second. Trust and believe there will be a musical made out of Taylor Swift songs. It's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, whoever is going to put this, what they call jukebox musical, whoever's going to put this musical together needs to watch this and see what they did and take your note on how you can stage this song. Yeah, Stephanie, that's brilliant. I love it. Come on, director. Come
on. Lastly, this song made me so, like, watching this performance made me very emotional. Mm-hmm. And I've heard this song 1,000 million times, but this performance made me emotional. Like their joint effort, their joint performance made me like almost like I think that it was the excellence of the performance and also the song that just made me very emotional.
There was so much joy. Joy. You could feel it. You could feel
sisterhood.
It. And sisterhood. Like I said, singers, there's enough room for all of your talent. You don't need to be. You don't need to be jealous.
That's right.
You don't need to be jealous because there's enough room. There really is
room at the table for everybody. Absolutely.
Easier said than done, but there is enough room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Stephanie.
Yes.
I'm delighted to say that there was no loser in this battle.
No.
Now, if we're talking dirty knife fight, neither of them walked away.
Right.
Because they both killed.
Yes.
It was a fatal blow, and that's a good thing. There was no. There were two winners. There were two winners in this battle. So I'm gonna let you explain how it went down.
So after all the coaches' feedback, which they were all very positive about this performance, Coach Blake ended up picking Kylee as the winner of the battle. So she moves on to the knockout rounds. And then he hit his button for Mary-Kate, meaning that he used his playoff pass and gave that to Mary-Kate. So she will be skipping the knockout rounds and we will see her in the playoff rounds. Come on.
It could have gone either way. But
they both deserve to stay.
They both had to stay.
Absolutely. They both had to stay.
They both had to stay. Because like when Stephanie and I first started the podcast and we did season 22, there were two duets specifically where we were like, ain't no way you sending any of them home. And none of them went home. Right. All four of them went to the next round, right?
Yes.
Well, and so two of the best seasons this far with Vanessa and Sorella and
Right.
Mary Kate and Kylee,
Mm-hmm.
no one's going home.
No.
You can't when it's that good.
No,
you gotta send them through. Wow, what an amazing short episode, but it was an hour, fun-filled, jam-packed, amazing night of singing.
Yes.
And artistry.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're back on next week. We got another round of battles. Oh, y'all, I can't get enough of it. I wish we could just stay in the battles because some of the music that comes out of this part of the competition is just second to none. So hats off to that doggone band.
Yes.
And I know those BGVs, background vocals, are waiting in the wings because we can't wait to hear them in the next round. But we're still very, very in the trenches of the battles. Mm-hmm. So we'll see everyone next week. Thank you for always watching and tuning in. Stephanie, tell everybody what they need to do.
So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And as you know, we are on YouTube now. Search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
Because I'm the problem, it's me.
Listen, that's a whole word. That is a whole word.
See everybody.
Try to tell me that don't preach.
Bye.
Bye-bye.